But if Ethiopia or Somalia or Djibouti or Eritrea, what if Ethiopia just made an empire? First of all, they don't have that many options. They got this country, this country, this country. They also go out east to go to India. They can also go to here if they want to. But we're gonna have to buff them up because they're not that strong, to be fair. So they're gonna go and see our opponents and go to Madagascar. And go to here and see, where's the update? It's very small and it's very useless. And it happened ever since the daily Madagascar update happened. It's very small and nobody cares about it, so yeah, they take it over, and in the peace treaty, they fully take it over. Seriously, they fully take it over. They don't have mercy. They just take it over, and they obviously take over the red team, and yeah, they're just trying to take over Madagascar, which isn't very good because the Madagascar people don't like this stuff. They don't like this country. They think this country sucks. They think the rest of Africa is not that very cool, and most of Africa is already explored. And the unexplored areas left is this amount of land. And the other lands that are unexplored, which is the desert of Australia, and the entire Americas except for Greenland. And also Antarctica. It's too cold to go there. Nobody even dares to go there. So yep. They also go to this country in the mainland, and this country is not that very strong, but they refused, and they did the wrong option because now they're gonna have to face Ethiopia's 2.0 form, which will never happen in the real series. They go and invade, and this country does not have plot armor, and Ethiopia for this video changed to fascism to get blitzkrieg in a better way. They go and cut off this land, and they take it over. They cut off these two even more than they already are. They take out this, and it's some heavy fighting over here, but eventually just surrenders. So let's look at this peace treaty real quick. Peace treaty time. No. Peace treaty time. So in the peace treaty, the Ethiopians take over all of this. And these islands as well, the Zanzibars. And the rest is made into a puppet state. So boom. Puppet state. And they take this as the cold land. Take over all of this as themselves. Now Ethiopia is giant, like a giant country. And the next opponent is this part, but this part is controlled by the blue team, which gone through there. There's like a river around here, I think, like actually a river, like around here, and they go around here. You might say there's no rivers here, but there is in this universe. And they go down up here, and they go up right about probably here or any other place, and they took it over. So yeah, they took a very long route. And now this land in this universe gets independence, but let's just see its color if it got independence. Let's just mess around with the colors a bit. Let's find a good color. Maybe like this, maybe like that, maybe a little bit like that, maybe like that a bit. And it kind of looks dead. You know, what color should I choose, honestly? Too many green. What color is not enough in here? Brown. Well, I guess darker colors, I guess. Maybe like dark pinkish color like this. But this looks like fans. For some reason. I have a dark red fans. How about dark purple? That just looks weird to me. How about this color? Okay, that might be one of the closest, but not the perfect one. Not a good one either. Okay, this color's actually goated, kinda. And I just make it a little bit like this. And yeah, this universe, this land gets independence, and sorry for them because they're getting invaded. But a pink team, Ethiopian forces, they go out in a full expansion. They use their blitzkrieg strat, but the country doesn't, sit there and relax. They go and continue by invading up here and go to this puppet state and take over this entire lake. They didn't expect this, but they still controlled pretty well of this land. To go to the entire coast and sweep through them, while brown country continues up north and taking the entire puppet state. But that's not good for them because they surrender immediately. And now let's look at the peace treaty. Peace treaty time. The peace treaty of the pink country, which is really big for some reason now, controls over a lot of land, and their servers become a little bit too big because, well, they are kind of getting a lot of hate. It's the early universe. It's like now, like, what, the 1700s maybe? It's like the 1600s, like 1685 by now. It's 1685 right now. Once the full world is discovered, it's probably like 1895 or something. I don't know. And it's fully discovered. But the big country is like a really big country now. Like they span from the Horn of Africa up here all the way down to up down here in the Indian Ocean. They are a really big country. They now want this. It's surrounded, and luckily for them, the red team just says, "Sure, get it," and they get it. It's unbelievable, but yep. In this universe, they actually expand. There's still unclaimed land. So before anybody could make a move, they make the puppet state a bit more expanded. They also take some land from the puppet state. I know that happens. I don't care. This land becomes a part of the mainland, as well as all of this. And the puppet state after that gets land themselves, actually. So Ethiopia, the Ethiopians expand a bit. The yellow country in the Sudanese try to stop them, but they surround the yellow team now. That's not good. If they're this expansionist, this is not good. Ethiopia just took over that, and they're now claiming it for their puppet state. And now they're going up in Yemen and just taking them over because they want to. They want this island and control the Horn of Africa, which if you don't know is a pretty nice place, to be fair. I know there's no major cities, but they take it steadily. They want all of this. Sadly for them, they don't have more power like the Ethiopians, so they lose the land and they get this island too. So now Ethiopia is a strong country, and they go overseas. They randomly found themselves in Australia, not a pleasant place, so they take a little bit of land. This is not canon, by the way. And they've got so far from Madagascar to get this bit of land. And they've discovered these islands. All of these random islands, they colonized. And they took all the resources for themselves. Nicely. And the world doesn't like this fact that this new country is expanding a lot. It looks like the gold team, but it's not gold. And you know what the world does? Well, the first nuclear bomb. No. Well, the first country to make tanks very weak tanks, by the way. Nobody else has tanks, which is the red team. They found some old scraps and they made a wooden tank over right about here. They found it. And other areas there were like metal and stuff. And this amount of area, and they decided to take all the stuff and make a tank and see if they don't stop expanding and give all the land away, they will get carved up. And the Ethiopians say, shut up, and I'm going to continue. And the red team is like, oh, no, you don't. This land is uninhabited and then disappears for some reason. Who's this country? Who is this guy? I didn't invite you. So, Ethiopia is going to be, 1, 2, 3, and the red team makes an invasion of Ethiopia. Well, you should have learned the lesson, Ethiopia. Should have learned it by now. You should have learned it. Now the red team's gonna go for you. What do you do? Why? This island is very strategic. This island right here. I don't know its name, but they go up here. They take it over. They take this land over. They take it over, and then up here they go by the ships from here. They go up here and they take over some land. They take over this, and they start to take over more coastal lands and continue up as well. Well, another country decides to invade, and another country decides to invade. These countries are not that strong, and they're invading them. How great is that, huh? This country decides to get revenge and take over a lot of land. Sudanese decide to go and continue their rampage. And the red team decides to continue on taking over more land, until just a full-on collapsation is happening. The red team just continues to expand up north, really. They just take over the entire thing, and well, they surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty. So in the peace treaty over here, Sudan gets this. The red team gets the northern parts. Everything the Ethiopians took are now gone. And a couple of new countries are spawning in. What? Somalia spawns in. They finally make an appearance. And they never will come back because, well, this is uncanon. It's not canon, it's an actual series. And we're gonna have another green country right here. We're gonna get like a lucid reddish country, like right here. I'm actually gonna get a puppet state from the red team. They get a puppet state right here. And this country gets independence. Looks like a puppet state's that, but it's not. And finally, the yellowish. So, yep. Let's see, why they did this. And the Ethiopians never told anybody about the lands they found in Australia. So now they're just like this. This is handing over to Ethiopia. No, I mean Somalia. Yes, Somalia. Jeez. The red team decides to hand over more land to Somalia. They actually instead make a new country over here, which is gonna be a puppet state. Because they're a little bit too big, so they don't want too much land anyways. And now Ethiopia is carved up, and the world now looks like this. Type of other events, Pakistan is so weak. That's a fact. They're the weakest country in the world. No, Switzerland's the weakest one. And Switzerland gets immediately annexed by Austria. They say, no Switzerland in this universe anymore. Wow. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more Empire videos, and maybe we'll do something else. Russians hate you, and I hate you. Now we'll add some green stuff. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know, my lands are completely destroyed and radioactive. Who wrote those? Oh, some weird, goofy mans come up and say, I'm gonna eat your butt. And they kill everybody. And now the world's a demolished world. I was just making a joke. That will never happen. Maybe by the end of the series, aliens will come and destroy the world. Maybe. I don't know. Bye.